In a quiet, secluded village nestled between dense woods and mist-covered mountains, a sense of unease hung heavy in the air. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about an eerie presence that had returned after years of dormancy. They called it the long-forgotten friend. The story began decades ago when a young girl named Emily moved to the village. She was mysterious and enchanting, with raven black hair and pale, porcelain skin. Emily possessed an otherworldly charisma that drew people to her like moths to a flame. She became fast friends with a group of local children, sharing secrets and adventures that forged unbreakable bonds. As the years passed, Emily's visits to the village grew infrequent. The children, once inseparable, gradually drifted apart, lost in the currents of life's demands. They eventually forgot about Emily and the magical times they had shared. One fog-shrouded evening, a peculiar mist enveloped the village, thick and suffocating. Whispers echoed through the streets, and the villagers felt a disconcerting presence in the air. That night, the villagers were startled awake by a mournful wail that echoed from the heart of the woods. It was as if the very earth was grieving. The next morning, the villagers awoke to find their village transformed. The houses were twisted and gnarled, like contorted memories of their former selves. The mist that had once cloaked the woods had seeped into the village, casting a pallid gray over everything. In the center of the village, a figure stood, draped in tattered, black garments. It was Emily, but she was no longer the young girl they remembered. Her eyes were empty voids, and her once rosy cheeks were sunken and pallid. Her presence exuded a bone-chilling coldness. The villagers approached cautiously, their hearts pounding with dread. Emily spoke, her voice a haunting melody that sent shivers down their spines. "You forgot me," she whispered, each word dripping with sorrow. "You left me behind, and now I've returned." Fear gripped the villagers as they realized that Emily's return was a consequence of their forgotten friendship. The very bonds they had forsaken had become the chains that bound them to this nightmarish transformation. They pleaded for forgiveness, tears streaming down their faces, but Emily remained unmoved. As the days turned to weeks, the village sank further into darkness. The crops withered, the animals fled, and the once vibrant community was now a desolate wasteland. Every night, Emily's mournful wail pierced the air, a relentless reminder of their betrayal. Desperation gave birth to a plan. The villagers gathered the fragments of their shattered memories and pieced them together, hoping to rekindle the bond they had forsaken. They ventured into the woods, following the echo of Emily's cries. Deep within the heart of the forest, they found a glimmer of the friendship they had lost. An old tree stood, its trunk etched with their names and memories. As they touched the tree, flashes of their shared adventures flooded back, and a flicker of warmth returned to the village. The villagers, armed with their newfound memories, returned to the village square. They faced Emily, her form still draped in darkness, but now there was a faint trace of humanity in her eyes. They shared their stories, their laughter, and their regrets. Emily's mournful wail began to soften, and her features showed the faintest hint of recognition. With a final, anguished cry, Emily's form dissolved into the mist, and the village was released from its icy grip. The twisted houses straightened, and the pallid gray was replaced by the gentle hues of dawn. The village had been given a second chance. Years later, the villagers told tales of that fateful time, a cautionary reminder of the power of forgotten friendships. And in the heart of the woods, a lone tree stood, a silent sentinel guarding the memories of the long-forgotten friend.